Good afternoon, Professor and classmates. My name is Penny Bishop, and my research topic is issues with the foster care system. Foster care and being a foster parent is a close concern of mine, as I was a foster parent for about 10 years. I was not able to have any biological children, so my ex-husband and I turned to the foster care system to be able to start a family, as do many individuals and couples. We had 6 kids in foster care. 2 of the kids were reunited with their birth families. 1 was adopted by a family member, and then the other child was adopted by another family in another agency. We did foster care through the local social services. I know I did my first internship last summer with a foster care agency, and it was a private agency. But the foster care system is comprised of foster parents, birth parents, children, social workers, and then there's advocates for the children. The foster care system helps many children reunite with their birth parents. And that is the goal when they come into foster care, is to be able to reunify those children with their birth parents. This is not always the case and what needs to be done, but there is a plan put into place with the parents to try to make that happen. If that doesn't happen, then the kids may be adopted by the foster parents that they've been placed with. Now, some children have multiple placements while they're in foster care. They may have some behavioral problems or something that one foster parent is not able to handle, so they have to call social services and they have to go to another foster parent. That cycle of having to move about disrupts the child even further from the abuse and neglect that they've gotten from their birth parents. And then many children that enter foster care, especially if they enter foster care at an older age, are not adopted, and they do not get reunified with their birth parents at all. These children age out of the foster system at 18, and they age out with little to no support for themselves. The problems that face the foster care system is that the first one is that the children's needs are not being heard and met. Foster children come in to foster care. I was blessed with my children. They had very little behavior problems and needs. I think one, we had to get some speech therapy for him. But for the most part, they just had some problems from being neglected. But these kids, there's often kids come with medical needs, and behavioral needs. And some of the behaviors that come with these kids, with foster kids, you do not see them until they're triggered. And with that, I mean, when the foster parents want to give the foster child, they say, "Oh, Timmy, it's time for a bath." Well, that may be, the bath may trigger in the child's mind, that's when they got abused with their birth parents. So a lot of those issues that they have, those psychological issues, behavior issues, and many come with medical issues. I mean, some of them, like the ones I had, he was almost 4 years old and he could not even put sentences and words together. These needs are not being supported for the children. Then there's the foster parents with, they need more support than what they're getting from social services. They need emotional support, financial support, and crisis management. In the emotional support, they are just needing for the foster parents to be respected and recognized. They are providing a home for these children and giving them love and support. They're with the child 24/7. They just want to be recognized and respected for what they're doing. The financial part is not so much about the money as just sometimes they need a break, and not always can the foster parents leave and go on a vacation with the child. Sometimes there's different stipulations, so it's hard for them to get a break. Now, some counties do have some foster parents that will just do respite, which means that if the foster parents need a break for a weekend or whatever, then the children can go into respite. And then crisis management support is the foster parents just need somebody to be able to listen to them, to just go over a situation they may have that has arisen with the child. Another issue with the foster care system is reunification. Reunification is not something, I know for me, it was hard for me to think that that was what needed to happen with these kids, because the birth parents are tagged as bad parents, and they have a lot to overcome to be able to be reunified with their children. Also, you have those children in foster care that are aging out of the foster care system at 18. These teenagers they've left being in foster care or in a group home their whole life. They may have the support of that foster parent, but they may not. They haven't been adopted, so they don't have the adoption family support. So oftentimes these teenagers are without education. They end up being homeless, all because that they don't have the support that they need to function in society. In my research, I did find a agency in Georgia, I believe. It was called, it was in Washington, D.C., I'm sorry. It was called Family and Youth Initiative. And this program helped individuals 12 to 21 in foster care find an adult support so that when they did age out of the system, they had somebody that they could meet with weekly or every other week or monthly and just get together and just be able to talk to them, be able to get their advice on problems, and just be the support that they needed when they aged out of the system. But in my research, they said that at any given time, there's more than 415,000 children and teens in foster care at one time. I know when I first started in 2005, our numbers jumped, like doubled in just like a couple of months. But these children and the parents, foster parents, need the support of each other to make the foster system work. The foster parents, the birth parents, the children, the social workers, they all need to have to work together. They need the support of each other to be able to make the system work. Thank you.